we're live. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Underground Crypto. I know a lot of people are probably not in here. This is the Deep Dive Show. Today we are going to be going over Layer 1, or what we call L1s. Just waiting to see if we get a few people in here. Right now I'm talking to an empty room. Threw a poll up. Let me know how you feel about that. Let me check my audio out. All right. All right, I see somebody hopped in here. Throw something in the comments for me. Let me know you're here. We are just kicking off. We're going to be deep diving Layer 1s. We just went live like a minute ago. We're doing this Monday through Friday. All right, check the audio. Audio check is good. We had some echoes one day, and I felt like it really hurt the stream, so now I got to check that at the beginning. And let's see how many people we got in here. We are a new upcoming YouTube channel, so this is like maybe our 8th live stream doing this deep dive show. I think this is what the channel really need. I have plenty of pre-recorded content. Go check it out. Plenty of different things that I have gone over and done deep dives of, but now we're doing it more in like a solid put together show, I guess. So let me switch frames here, so you could see what I see with the screen sharing. All right, so just to kick it off, we're back to $4 trillion in the overall market cap of crypto. Not too shabby. I think that that's a good line we want to hold there. 18,127 coins being tracked currently by CoinGecko. That's really all we need to know. They got BTC dominance, ETH dominance. Those can be important. How about that pullback today in the market? Do you get scared every time it does that? Do you think that the bull run is over? Maybe you could answer the poll that I got running. Anyways, Bitcoin has pulled back to about 118,000 in that region, 118,324 if you really want to be specific. Crushing a little bit of the gains that they had before. They love to get everybody thinking we're going to the moon and then pull back. It happens over and over and over again, so just be prepared for it. I don't think that that means the bull run is over, but this is not financial advice. Ethereum still hanging out at 4,500. What did Ethereum go up to? Real quick, we're just giving people a minute to come in before we start deep diving these Layer 1s. Historically, Layer 1s have been the best return on investment, in my opinion. Also, some of the safest investment, in my opinion. So I think it's a good thing to look at while the market is pulling back. You know, are we running scared right now in the market, or is this a great time to buy things on discount? Let's go to the 7-day. I just want to see how high we peaked out at. Looks like 4,776, and look at that whopping $550 billion in its market cap. That is spectacular. That is why it is the second biggest crypto. And when you come down, you see only 183. Will XRP ever flip Ethereum? That is yet to be seen. And with the pullback in the market, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people are a little bit sore from the price action and from watching their bag go up and then watching it go down. But anyways, let's hop over to top gainers, top, trending. We'll start with trending. And we're going to go right into, we got Scale, Dogs, Notcoin, which has been trending for a couple of days. This Pinlink, Ethereum, Aerodrome. Talked a lot about that yesterday as we did a deep dive on our Cardano ecosystems yesterday. We did a deep dive on Caspa ecosystems, which are super early and super new in my opinion. Might be a place to find some gems, but I don't know, because I won't tell you what to do with your money. We got, the normal things, Solana, Cardano, Bitcoin trending. It doesn't really get anybody, excited. But Chainlink, Pudgy Penguins still holding it down. Bonk. I'm always surprised by how much money is in Pudgy Penguins. $2 billion in its market cap. I thought Bored Ape Yacht Clubs was bigger than Pudgy Penguins, but the market cap says differently. All right, let's go over and see what the top gainers, top losers of the day is before we kick off this deep dive. It is Thursday, so maybe we won't see the regular amount of people in and out of this live stream, but it doesn't matter because I'm here every Monday through Friday doing this. Really, I'm doing this every day, but I'm here Monday through Friday doing it with you live. Discord, Down in the link, or down in the description, is the link, so go ahead and hop in there if you want to chat and chat with like-minded people. Very hard to find people who you could really chat with about this type of stuff. All of us know that. You're very lucky if you have one or more person who you can talk to in your life about cryptocurrency. That's why we're building this community. So top gainers, scale. You can see why it's trending. We have this DLC, which is pretty interesting. AI analysis token. AIAT is the ticker. We got WikiCat, Definitive, Safecoin, Revox, which I think was trending or was a top gainer a couple of days ago. Cardano, we've looked at that before. What is this, Starwa? Not sure what that is. So right off the bat, let's see what this DLC is. It's got $187.2 million in market cap. We are deep diving. We are researching. We want to be informed. We want our crypto IQ to go up. Best way to do that is to look at their website, and there isn't one. But it does have a Binance Smart Chain contract address. Let's go look at their Twitter. That's kind of the next best thing. Drop some comments if you're in here so I know that we got some engagement. And yeah, any coins you want me to go over, go ahead and throw that down there. Diverge, Loop, X Diamond launch. This looks very interesting. What is it about, though? As we say here, Underground Crypto, narrative, narrative, narrative. What is the point? What is the category? Diamond launch is now Diverge Loop. Okay, so we got a rebrand going on. We've rebranded to bring you a more powerful community-driven decentralized platform. This can be good. This can be terrible. It just really depends on what they did in the previous project. If they rub people the wrong way, good chances they're not going to do well in the rebrand, but you never know. This is crypto where anything is possible. I don't see anything jumping out at me that is too amazing. I do kind of want to know what the niche is. Kind of just skimmed past it. I'm not seeing what is the point of this coin. No rug pulls. Says every rug pull ever. So let's just go ahead and hop out of this. That's enough of that. Not sure why it's pumping. Its market cap is pretty good though. So AI analysis token. Let's see, what chain is that on? The more you deep dive, the more you research, the more you start asking the right questions, in my opinion. Not financial advice. So let's go to their website. It's like .group. It's a very interesting website. Unlock AI analysis ecosystem with the AIAT token. You can buy it here. But what does it do? It's listed on BTSE Exchange. Never heard of it. Powering the future of blockchain and AI. Access AIA Academy. AI signals and copy trading in AIAT/USDT. I mean, the copy trading pretty much sounds like a bot in my opinion. So trade AIAT with confidence. You got it on MEXC, which I'm not surprised. One of my favorite exchanges, not sponsored. Unfortunately, I guess I could have an affiliate link, but I'm not really here trying to solicit you guys stuff. We are trying to build a community of like-minded people who love crypto and want to have a higher IQ in crypto so that we can make better moves in crypto across the board, strategically allocated for optimal growth. And I'll tell you, to raise that IQ, a lot of it is just definitions. A lot of it is just words that you don't know, what it means, like allocated. Maybe you know what that means, maybe you don't, but that would certainly raise your crypto IQ. So here we go. This is what we call the tokenomics, token information here of how it is being distributed. It looks pretty simple. They wrote it super small, guaranteed to make it impossible to read. So we'll skim right over it. It's an AI project. It's in the AI niche. That's really what you need to know. That's the narrative. And it is on Ethereum's blockchain. I think that's good. See, different niches and different categories of crypto do better on different blockchains, really. So here we have this WikiCat. At the beginning of this show, we really just talk about top gainers, top losers, what's trending, keeping a pulse on not just the market, but different coins coming out. Maybe it's the first day that it's trending, and maybe you could catch something before the really big pump. But remember, Bitcoin really controls the market, and if Bitcoin decides to dump, especially if it brutally dumps, then everything else is going to most likely take a hit. When you see Bitcoin pull back and the rest of the market really doesn't seem to care, that's how you know you're going strong with your altcoins. What maybe we would call altcoin season. $64.2 million in its market cap. Not too shabby. 6 zeros. It doesn't really matter. Let's look at its max supply of 853 billion tokens. Or trillion, actually. And 549.2 trillion tokens. So a lot of tokens. Binance Smart Chain, once again, they do have a website. I would like to know what WickedCat is and what the niche is. If you're here for the layer 1 deep dive, it will begin in just a moment. I like to look at any coins that are top gainers or trending of the day, or even top losers that we don't know what they are. So this looks like a meme coin. Website looks like a meme coin. Fair launched, love to see that. Liquidity, tokenomics, project funds wallet, roadmap. Can we see the roadmap? All right, so the roadmap is phase 1. Launch the token, 500 holders, 2,000 wallet transaction, website launch. They must be there already, right? Contract auditing by Solidity Finance, 1,000 organic Telegram members, white paper creation, roadmap creation. Looks like they nailed all of that. The last thing is what we're reading, right? So it looks like a meme coin. What is the point of it, though? WickedCat is a digital currency on the internet that aims to teach people about understanding the adopting cryptocurrencies by introducing the world's cryptocurrencies in a light, fun, and less serious manner, aka meme coin. We believe more people can begin to learn more about this new and exciting type of financial system. PancakeSwap, one of my favorite places to be, PancakeSwap. All right, enough of that. Let's pop over. What are the top losers? What crashed today? Hey, Reckoning is back. What's up, Ned? Saying the wildest things in the chat. All right, Black Hole we talked about the other day. Was wondering if it could be a big liquidity hub for the Avalanche ecosystem, and it is just getting absolutely destroyed. I don't know if this project is going to be the liquidity center hub for Avalanche, or is Avalanche just doing terrible? I really don't know. But the chart really doesn't look good. You go look at the max chart on this thing, and it has just been steady dumping down. Even fib levels, you're bottoming out there, so not good stuff. All right, with that being said, we are actually going to hop into the topic of the day. It is a Thursday, and the market's pulling back, so I know engagement's going to be a little lower than normal. So I won't wait too long for anybody to hop in. Right off the bat, layer 1s, you've heard of almost all of the top ones: Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, Solana, Tron, which I never use much, but of course I know what Tron is. Most people do, and most people also never have used it. Cardano, which we went over the ecosystem of Cardano yesterday. Hyperliquid, SWI, Bitcoin Cash, Hydra, and we're probably going to start here with Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid is one that my mentor likes a lot, and you can see as a max time, it's up 600% or a 6x. He made a good call once again. So $45.91, up 72% in the last 3 months. Of course, let's see what it did in 24 hours. Of course, down 4%. The whole market is down somewhat over the last 24 hours. We have $15.3 billion in its market cap. As we begin to dive these, know that market cap is going to keep going down because these are put in a list by their market cap. So we have, what's that, 1 billion token? 1 billion tokens with 333.7 million in circulation. If there's anything you'd like me to look at, go ahead, drop it in the comments. And let's go to their website. I don't know if I've looked at Hyperliquid yet in these deep dives, but of course, doing these Monday through Friday, sometimes we're going to look at things twice. So what is Hyperliquid? What is its narrative? What is its category? What is its niche? The blockchain to house all finance. Crypto is fragmented today, but it doesn't need to be. For the first time, build projects, create value, and exchange assets on the same hyper-performant chain. Layer 1. That is a layer 1, statement right there. And it's a decentralized exchange. We love decentralization, although mostly all we get is centralization, right? The Hyperliquid stack, and this looks really techy, so I'm not going to bore you guys to death with this. Block time, if you know what that is, 0.07 seconds, 843,000 users, max TPC, 200,000, and daily volume, it says 28 billion. That's a lot of daily volume. And let's launch the app. It's got a third-party address. Yeah, I remember doing that the first time. All right, Hyperliquid is an up-and-coming L1 for sure. You're not going to really see a contract address other than the actual chain itself with these layer 1s. Next, we got Sui. You guys know Sui, I'm sure, but Sui is a great blockchain in my opinion. They've been doing the right things from what I've seen. I'm invested in them, of course, be transparent. $13.2 billion in its market cap. Max supply, looks like 10 billion tokens, 3.5 billion in circulation. A lot of tokens to come out. It can be a bad thing. It can be a not so bad thing, depending on how the foundation puts those out. Let's go to their website. I don't know if I've ever been to Sui. Oh, yes, we have. We've been to Sui's website here. Build Beyond, Sui delivers the benefits of Web3 with ease of Web2. That is a great slogan. Scalable infrastructure that's fast, secure, and affordable. Uniquely achievable on Sui. Position for the future. Ownership as you expect it. Familiar user experience. Don't liquidate me, bro. You're hilarious, Ned. All right, less code, more secure. Move is the most powerful smart contract program language. Bold claims. And this stuff's probably going to be pretty techy because this is the foundation that everything else is built on. Their website doesn't look too horrible. Not super flashy. Very professional looking. Sui is a layer 1 that I would be very surprised if you didn't know about. I'm really looking forward to getting into some of these layer 1s that this one's interesting that maybe you haven't heard about. So here we go, Bitcoin Cash. I'm sure you've heard about it, as we all have, but I've never looked at their website. Let's take a look at it. We have $11.8 billion in its market cap. Honestly surprising. Of course, max supply is 21 million. This is a fork of Bitcoin's code, with the circulating supply being 19.9 million. So let's go look at their website. I'm interested to see what their website looks like. Is it catchy? Does it even look good? Better money for the world, aka Bitcoin. No overdrafts, no borders, no chargebacks, no frozen funds. Has Bitcoin Cash ever gone down? I have no idea. Got individual pools and exchanges and developers, and that's it. Very, very simple. Prepare for the May 15th, 2025 network upgrades. Well, that's interesting. Are you going to see a pump? I don't know. Let's hop on back. I just wanted to throw that one in there. And Bitcoin Cash is sitting at $594, down 4% on the 24-hour. Here's HBAR. You might know HBAR. If you know Sui, you probably know HBAR. Sitting at 25 cents with $10.5 billion in its market cap, 50 billion tokens in its max supply, and 42.3 billion tokens in its circulating supply. That is the basic of the tokenomics here. Down 6.2% today. Wouldn't stress about that. Down 5% on the 7-day. On the month, it's up 7%, right? Crypto goes up and down. If that scares you, then you have not been here very long. All the more reason to be on this live stream, increasing your crypto IQ. The trust layer of digital economy. As the world's only public network governed by known institution, Hydra is the trusted platform for building fast, secure, and compliant decentralized applications. Mainnet accounts created, a lot. Total mainnet transaction, a lot. Finality is 2.1 9 seconds, hit you with a bunch of numbers. A lot of those are not going to mean much to you guys. A responsibly governed decentralized network, an open source public network governed by leading organizations around the world. No, I do not read these things in advance. I am probably going to stumble here and there, is what it is. It's underground crypto, right? We're deep diving together with application ecosystems and standards built by the developer community. And they have all kinds of different people affiliated with it. HBAR is not a small project. The gold standard in blockchain. You got Hashgraph, Consensus, Decentralized, and EVM or Ethereum Virtual Machine Equivalent. So they're saying they're up to par. Fast, secure, all the things you would want it to say. Energy efficient, always a narrative because of Bitcoin. Open source code, all the things that you would want to hear. HBAR is a very predominant coin. Let's look at their ecosystem. What is Hedera, or Hedera, if you want to call it that, ecosystem? You got Hashgraph Online, Moonscape, Limecoin, and Citadel Wallet. Throw it in the comment if you would like me to do a Hedera ecosystem deep dive. I'm sure I will one of these deep dives as we do different ecosystems and get into different categories. I picked layer ones today because I think it's interesting, and the market's down. Layer ones tend to perform really well, so maybe we'll pull some gems here. Why is it not letting me go back? Go back. I want to see the list. And I'm trying not to spend too much time on coins that we obviously know what they are. I'm looking for those layer one gems, right? Here's Avalanche, aka AVAX, $23.94. Call it $24. $10.1 billion in its market cap. 720 million in its max supply and 422.2 million in its circulating supply. Of course, there's always going to be some disparity unless it's like a Faircoin meme launch or something like that, because they need to be bringing some coins into their ecosystem. Let's go to the max log, see when CoinGecko started tracking it. September 21st, 2020. So it has been around for quite some time. Don't know if I've ever been to Ajax's website. Let's check that out. Avalanche powers a global community. Decline whatever they're trying to offer me here. Avalanche, well, now it wants to disappear and reload. All right, let's try this again. Avalanche powers a global community of builders creating real use case for real impact. Lightning fast, scalable by design, interconnected, all coming together to form one unified ecosystem. Oh, natively. I skipped a word there. Visa expands stablecoin settlements to Avalanche, so they have some partnership with Visa. That's pretty cool. I know that Avalanche has stated that they want to be the blockchain of GameFi or games. I think it's really good for blockchains, layer ones, to niche out and be very specific to one thing, right? Otherwise, it gets kind of complicated. Fast, powerful, secure. I mean, Ethereum could do that when they did it because there wasn't a bunch of competitors. Now there's a bunch of competitors, so you really got to set yourself apart. So you have infinitely scalable by design, customizable layer ones, global community, set up a wallet, AVAX token, explore the ecosystem. I will definitely be doing an AVAX ecosystem at one point. Let's see what Ned has to say in the comments. Yeah, it's my money and I want it now. I agree. Why we have to have the pullback in the market? I'm just playing. That's healthy price action. Avalanche is trusted by businesses worldwide. Build on the networks designed for big ideas. Academy. They have all kinds of different things here. I'm not a developer, so that's not going to probably be interesting to me or any of you guys. Codebase. Codebase by Avalanche is home to Avalanche's builders support program. Okay, so if you're a builder, this is probably where you want to come incubate your project, maybe get some funding. And yeah, for what I know, Avalanche really wants to be the gaming, center of the Web3 ecosystems. And that's AVAX. Again, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on projects you most likely know. AVAX, though, we're starting to get to the ones you might not know, right? Litecoin. Well, we can't skip Litecoin, can we? Litecoin's not exactly new. nor do I think it is going to do something crazy, but it is up 2,700% from its inception. Looks like CoinGecko's tracking it from 2013. Not surprising. It has been around and been a staple of the crypto ecosystem, or the entire, ecosystem of all crypto for a long time. And you can see with it being around since 2013, you can see why hedge funds and stuff consider this something worth buying. $9.2 billion in its market cap, $84 million max supply, circulating supply 76.1 million tokens. Let's go look at their website just for the heck of it. What does Litecoin's website looks like? All right, looks very professional, like I would expect from Litecoin. Cryptocurrency for payments based on blockchain technology. Download Litecoin Core for Windows. I don't know why I would want to do that. Can I run a node? What is Litecoin? Litecoin is a peer-to-peer internet currency that enables instant, near-zero cost payments to anyone in the world. Litecoin is an open-source global payment network that is fully decentralized without any central authorities. Mathematics secure the network and empower individuals to control their own finances. Litecoin features fast transactions, confirmed times, and improved storage efficiency than the leading math-based currency. With substantial industry support, trading volume, and liquidity, Litecoin is proven medium of commerce complementary to Bitcoin. I think that, this is probably a very solid staple in the crypto world that a lot of people just absolutely ignore. And let's see if there's anything interesting here. Open source, of course. I mean, a lot of this is just standard blockchain technology, right? Open source, a blockchain, a wallet, a community, mining rewards. So it must be proof of work. Okay, so it just took me back to what I already read. Very interesting. You can download it for pretty much anything from Linux to, Windows, Apple. Very interesting. Not super exciting to talk about, though, as the engagement totally dropped off. Gotta love that. Litecoin, like I said, the coin that everybody loves to ignore. Still has a huge market cap, though. Toncoin. Maybe Toncoin will be a little more exciting. It is a Thursday, so I guess that's why we're not seeing a lot of people in here. I'm just glad somebody's in here and I'm not talking to myself. So we got Ton, $3.41 at $8.7 billion in market cap. Sorry, $8.7 billion in market cap. Let's go to the max log. When did they start tracking Ton? 2021. So August 26, 2021. Max supply says infinite. Love to see that. And that makes a circulating supply of 2.5 billion tokens pretty much a useless number because you can't compare it to anything, right? It is, of course, its own blockchain. Let's go look at their website. I knew layer ones would be a little less exciting to people, which is interesting because that's where most people make most of their money. So that's why I did it today, because engagement is very much down across the crypto world. So let's do this one on a day where engagement's down, right? The open network for gamers, for crypto ninjas. All right. A decentralized and open internet designed to onboard 500 million people on chain, built by the community using technology developers by Telegram. All right, so Ton is specifically for Telegram if you did not already understand that. Getting started is easy. All you need is Telegram. So you get you some Telegram, get a wallet. Cryptocurrency is the heart of Toncoin. So you can get some Toncoin right here. Unlock freedom with decentralized finance. Nominator pools, buy and trade, cross-chain bridges, very helpful in an ecosystem. Accept payments effortlessly. Mint your tokens, USDT on Ton. Explore apps and services. There is quite a few things built, but it's all within the Ton, app a lot of the time, which can be really weird to me. I don't use Ton a ton. LOL. All right, was reading some comments. Ned is tearing it up in them comments. I appreciate you being here. So, mobile, DNS, Tribute, all kinds of different things. I don't want to go too extensively into. I really want to cover as many layer ones as I possibly can. Have you heard of these coins? Did you know they were layer ones? A lot of people, I assume, know things that when I talk to people, I realize most people don't know. Did you know Toncoin was its own layer 1 project? Kronos. Did you know Kronos was a layer 1 project? With $4.9 billion in its market cap. Looks like CoinGecko started tracking Kronos, or ticker CRO, on January 7th, 2019. So it goes back. Let's look at its website. Shout out to anybody trickling in here. Kronos POS chain, the next generation public blockchain. So they're all really kind of claiming that CRO has been around for a while. Kronos POS chain is a public, open source, and permissionless blockchain. A fully decentralized network with high speed and low fees designed to be a public good that helps drive mass adoption of blockchain technology through use cases like payments, DeFi, and NFT. Kronos never been my thing, but I mean, if they're trying to get the adoption of blockchain, I can't hate on them for that. Secure, instant, low cost, permissionless, open ecosystem, sustainable. It is Crypto.com's blockchain, just like Base is Coinbase's, blockchain. Except for Base went the layer 2 route on Ethereum, which might prove to be a very smart move for them, as Ethereum is not going anywhere and, of course, is the choice for hedge funds and stuff like that. So a lot of money flowing in there. And the security that it touts, although most people say Ethereum doesn't run the best. Ethereum is certainly not without its issues. All right, why is this not letting me go back? Go back to our list. All right, then we have Monero. Now, Monero is in the niche of privacy coins, of course. $4.4 billion in its market cap with a max supply that is infinite. It's being tracked all the way back to May 20th, 2014. So, wow. I did not know that Monero goes that far back. Did you know Monero goes all the way back to 2014? I mean, you're talking back to the inception of even like Bitcoin. I was not aware of that. What is Monero? It is private, decentralized cryptocurrency that keeps your finances confidential and secure. Is private, decentralized privacy coins. Are they good? Are they bad? Are they only for criminals? Is there a reason to have a mixer? Is there a reason to have privacy with your money? I don't know. A lot of people have a lot of opinions on that. So you can choose a wallet, get some coins. It's a currency, use it. Very simple. Find answers to your questions here at the FAQ. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of things to say here. The main point of this is just to move money around and people don't know what you're doing. It's stuck around because I guess it does have a use case, but I don't see a lot of people really thinking it's great. And then, of course, you have the scare of the regulators that could really mess you up. All right, finally, we're getting into some different layer ones that might be a little more interesting. BitTensor. TAO, T-A-O, number 45 by market cap, $3.5 billion in its market cap, 21 million tokens, 9.5 million tokens in its circulating supply. And we'll go down, check out BitTensor's website. I remember their website being really intense. I have a pre-recorded, although it's a little old, but it looks like the same website, video on my channel if you want to go search that and get more of a full review. All right. Does it scroll down? Can't remember. Let's go to about. So BitTensor Paradigm. And they made it so small. Let's make that a little bigger, right? BitTensor's vision for a decentralized AI company has captivated a large number of people in arenas of artificial intelligence. There's your niche. There's your category. A computer science who have yearned for alternative to the top-down world being created by our own current technology giants. However, the promise of what BitTensor is and can be has been masked by large technical barriers to understanding, and thus has not been well digested by non-technical audiences. Well, I feel that right now as I'm doing this deep dive and I see people hopping off. A lot of people don't want to hear this stuff. They don't want to have a IQ in cryptocurrency or really in technology, because this is very much in technology as well. It separates the cream from the crop. I will definitely say that. The purpose of this article is to answer why BitTensor matters to the world, why you should care, and why you need to build why we need to build it together. These are the core questions, and each of them will require that we delve into the history of cryptocurrency and how BitTensor is uniquely positioned to play a significant role in the future of what is being written. And we could go through a very long conversation here, but that is not what today is about. So we won't go there. I mean, this is honestly great. I'd do a live stream just on this. Probably be me talking to myself. But anyways, I started this channel. I'd be here anyways, so that's all right. Sometimes you got to grind it until people want to listen. Sometimes you got to just keep putting it out until people, realize that they needed to care. That's what every great product does. NEAR Protocol, $3.4 billion in its market cap. Infinite again. And when did it come out, or when did CoinGecko start tracking it? Looks like 2020, October 13th. Shout out to anybody who's hopping in here. Hit that subscribe and like button. It is on the Ethereum contract, which is really interesting because this is supposed to all be layer ones. And I'm pretty sure NEAR Protocol is its own layer one, but it has an Ethereum contract. I don't know. That doesn't quite make sense to me. Maybe their website will give us some more hints here. The blockchain for AI. The platform powering the agentic future. NEAR is the executioner layer for AI native apps. Sorry, all this crazy stuff going on their website is cool, but it makes it really hard to read. Enabling agents to own assets, make decisions, and transfer freely across networks. I don't remember NEAR being so AI heavy. Maybe I'm mixing it up with another project. NEAR is one I always wanted to get into, and I always seem to, stack on other positions or something like that. But AI narrative, AI agents are not going anywhere in crypto. AI agents had that explosion for a while. Hope it comes back. Our vision for NEAR. We believe there is a better path for internet where AI is not confined to closed corporate systems and agents can operate freely, transact securely, and protect user privacy. I mean, that is their vision. That is also a lot of people's absolute nightmare, right? NEAR is enabling an open AI economy where AI serves people, not platforms, agents that act with purpose, infrastructure that respects intent, a network where the value flows back to those who created it. NEAR is one of the most infrastructure. It's the foundation of a new kind of internet where AI works for the user. Blockchain technology combined with AI really has some crazy potentials. So there you go. NEAR is a layer one, very much surrounded by the AI niche. That might make it a winner. I don't know if it's always been in the AI niche, going back to 2020, were they talking about AI back then? And it's at $2.77. Says it's only up 133% in its max, so that's kind of wild. What is it doing in the last month? 2.6%. Not a huge mover, but I know this thing has had some good pumps in the past. All right, we got Ethereum Classic. Not sure if Ethereum Classic is going to be worth going over, but it is at $22. I am glad that I sold all of my Ethereum Classic, to be honest, and put it in something else. So number 47 by market cap, $3.4 billion in its market cap, $210.7 million in its max supply, circulating supply 153.1 million tokens. Sorry, not dollars. We're talking about max supply and circulating supply. And let's go to their website. Does Ethereum Classic have a good website? I don't know. The decentralized, the immutable Ethereum. This is just like Bitcoin Cash is a fork of Bitcoin. Ethereum Classic, I believe, is the original Ethereum that got hit with an exploit and lost a bunch of money. And then there was this discussion about, is blockchain, immutable? Is it changeable? Ethereum Classic said no. The Ethereum that everybody knows now said yes. They split off and went two different ways. The Ethereum now put all of that money back into their ecosystem that had actually been stolen. How that works exactly, I'm not sure. And yeah, now we have Ethereum Classic that nobody seems to care about. You do your thing, Ned. You do your thing. So Ethereum Classic, are they relevant? Are they doing anything interesting? Here's the latest applications. I've never really looked at the applications on Ethereum Classic, right? So I think Ethereum Classic deep dive of their ecosystem would be very interesting. I also think most people would probably run away from that live stream. As we were talking, most people do not want a high IQ in crypto. They want to buy meme coins and throw their money in the toilet, press the flush button themselves. All right, Aptos. Aptos is a good one to look at. $4.72 right now, number 48 by market cap, $3.2 billion in its market cap. Have you noticed that all of these layer ones that we're talking about are basically what make up the top 50 to 100 tokens or asset by market cap in the crypto world? That's not a accident. Infinite max supply, though. I did not know that about Aptos. $3.2 billion in its market cap. Circulating supply doesn't even matter at that point. Let's see how long it's been around. According to CoinGecko, October 18, 2022, it says. Check out their website. Here's the contract address is Aptos blockchain. And that's what they all should say because they're layer ones. Make your move. See what we got. Scalability, gaming, people, entertainment, DeFi, NFTs, social. Aptos is the blockchain network with everything you need to build your big idea. Let's move if you're a developer. Your big idea meets its match. Bring it to life on Aptos. You got Microsoft, AWS, Amazon Web Service, Cloud, Google Cloud, all the big players here. MoonPay even found its way up there with Universal and Coinbase. All right, MoonPay, you must be moving a lot of money around. It's a transaction processor, right? And enjoy simplicity with AI on Aptos, payments on Aptos, gaming on Aptos, NFT. Let's go check out gaming on Aptos because I love GameFi. That's why. Let's check it out. Do they actually have any projects? Building on Aptos is like level 1 for your favorite game. It's the foundation. Yes, if you don't understand what a layer 1 is. Show me some games, though. All right, here we go. Are these games? Just says gaming. Aptos Arena. Tapos. A lot of the gaming in DeFi is a little simple. Not going to lie. So the MMORG. RPG. All right, website. All right, man. If we did a GameFi one, this would be one to deep dive. So Aptos, if you don't know about Aptos, it's been around for quite some time and is one of the big players. What was it, number 48 by market cap? Yep, number 48 by market cap. Let's see what else we can get. Because if you can catch some of these layer ones when they're tiny, you could do yourself a great service. They're calling Pi Network a layer 1. I don't know about that. I guess it is, but it doesn't have a contract address. So is Pi even a blockchain? I don't know, because what is their blockchain address? Do they have an Explorer? Oh, they do have an Explorer. Okay. But do they have contract addresses? I have no idea. A lot of discussion around the Pi network. The first digital currency that you can mine on your phone. A lot of people thought it was great. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure you can download it on your computer and mine it that way too. I don't know. How much are you still getting in rewards from the Pi network? I have no idea. I never got into it because I found out about it late, honestly, is what it was. And, it seems like the coin is going to be a race to the bottom. How are they going to counteract all those people that got all of those free coins just off their phone for next to nothing? And then you're all of a sudden able to sell them on exchanges. What is keeping your everyday person who is not committed to the crypto world, is not big in it, just downloaded this app, got free money, from just running off and selling it all? Selling it into the ground. ICP. All right. ICP is a fun project. If you know the story or the acclaimed story behind ICP, they got super screwed over with the FTX before the collapse and then certainly after the collapse. And from what I've seen and what everybody says about ICP, it is a banger project with solid tech that is, next level, next generational in crypto, but they're just really not getting the exposure because their launch went so terribly. They were taken advantage of by FTX. Is that true? I have no idea. That is just what they claim happened. That's a story that was claimed by a huge crypto influencer. Infinite max supply. I don't love to see that. I will say that. But we accept Ethereum, right? I'm pretty sure their max supply is pretty much infinite. What is the circulating supply? 536.8 million. It does have its own contract address. What I would like to see in a layer 1 for sure. Internet computers. So, of course, we're going to be talking a little bit technical. World Computer. The Internet computer hosts secure network resident code and data. Build web apps without big tech and current IT. Applications are immune to cyber attacks and unstoppable, capable of processing tokens and can run under exclusive DAO control. Build Web3 social media, games, DeFi, multi-chain apps, secure front-end ledger, enterprise apps, and AI models. TCP/IP connected software, ICP hosts software. A lot of techie stuff. Probably lost most of you. Yep. Looks that way. Got caffeine. Apply for early alpha access and be among the first to experience the decentralized internet. ICP Alliance. I'm really interested to see what the ecosystem is for ICP because I know that their technology is not what you get in every other blockchain. It is actually truly unique from my understanding and could be revolutionary if it could really get a breath of fresh air in the market and get some attention. Make AI immune to cyber attacks, right? Helping the global Web3 economy grow, or ecosystem grow, sorry, same thing really. ICP roadmap, real world use cases. See it for yourself. Let's check a look at that because I'm interested. Generally, this show goes from 8:30 to 9:30, depending on engagement. I might go a little bit longer. Today's slow. The market is pulled back. Everybody's probably upset or just trying to ignore crypto, ignore how they feel about their portfolios, and that's usually a good sign you haven't been in this space for very long. Unlock endless capabilities with internet computer use cases. Experience fully stacked decentralization from DAOs and crypto cloud services to game, NFTs, and social media. The internet computer has something for everyone. What is ICP? Oh boy, we'll open a rabbit hole here. I'm not going to read all of it. I will just pretty much read this first little article here. What is ICP? Take a breath. The internet computer is a public blockchain network enabled by new science from first principles. It is millions of times more powerful and can replace clouds and traditional IT. The network created by ICP, or the Internet Computer Protocol, is orchestrated by permissionless decentralized governance and is hosted by sovereign hardware devices run by independent parties. Its purpose is to extend the public internet with native cloud computing functionality. Right over a lot of people's heads, but if you understand that, you know that they do have something very revolutionary on their hands. But like anything that's ahead of its time, it takes a while for people to really take notice and care, right? And that's enough for ICP today. Let's see what other gems we can find. I think ICP is a gem. Personally, I'm invested in it. I'm transparent about it. It is what it is. Caspa. We did a complete deep dive of Caspa and its ecosystem. And there was some leftover time, I'll tell you, because there are still not a ton of things on Caspa's ecosystem. Just like you have ERC20s in Ethereum, you have KRC20s. So number 56 by market cap, $2.3 billion in its market cap. And think about it, its ecosystem is not even that far built out. In the max log, we're talking about 2022. It is a proof of work token, so you can mine it like Bitcoin. I think that was a lot of the attraction to Caspa in the first place. But it's got 28.7 billion in max supply and 26.3 billion in circulating supply, not leaving many tokens to come out. I do like to see that. And if you look at this, if you look at what it's up, 45,000% since its inception. That's crazy. And if you mine some of those with a miner, you did really well. I know a lot of people that got into Caspa early on in the trading group that I've been a part of for years, and they crushed it. Some of them were mining it. Some of it, they were just talking about it in there, and they bought it. And a lot of people in that community absolutely crushed, gains on this project. Anyways, we won't spend too much time on it other than we will go to its website. Kaspa is, of course, a layer 1. All of these are layer 1s. That doesn't really need to be said, I guess. Beyond the block. So because we're doing layer 1s, you hear a lot of technical stuff because all of these different layer 1s are touting, their capabilities. So you're going to hear some terms. You might not know what they are. Kaspa is the fastest, open source, decentralized, and fully scalable layer 1 in the world. Bold claim. It's the first block DAG, a digital ledger that enables parallel block creation and instant transaction confirmations. It runs on a robust proof-of-work engine designed to handle up to 10 blocks per second without compromising security or decentralization, built by industry pioneers led by the people. This website is built and maintained by Kaspa community members. So it is truly like decentralized and put together by the people, right? Crescendo 10 BPS News. I don't know what the heck that is. Here's all their media links, of course. And this is kind of a representation of their blockchain. This might make something like what we just talked about in its description that's very technical, maybe a little easier to wrap your mind around. So traditionally in blockchain, you have blocks and they're in a linear fashion, right? As this is in a linear fashion, but you will see multiple parallel blocks. Now, I know that even a regular blockchain sometimes has parallel blocks. I'm not a super nerd into this, but I know that that is a problem with blockchains most of the time. Kaspa has seemed to figure out how to link them all together and navigate those parallel blocks that are created and make it actually positive and more functional for their ecosystem. All right, Kaspa at a glance. Kaspa is a community project, completely open source with no central governance, following in the ethos of coins like Bitcoin, hence that it's proof of work. The coin was fair launched without pre-mining or any pre-allocation of coins. Read all in full depth detail right here. We're not going to do that. I think I've given you enough information on Kaspa for you to wrap your head around what Kaspa is. All of these are layer 1s. All of these are going to be the more technical things. They are the foundation. Algorand. At number 57, like we've gone like number 56, 58, 57. It's not a mistake. Layer 1s are the big players in the game. $2.2 billion in market cap. Looks like 10 billion tokens with 8.7 billion of those tokens in the max supply. Or circulating supply, sorry. Let's go over to the log and see when CoinGecko started tracking it. So it looks like 2019. Doesn't really want to let me go back any farther than that. So let's say 2019. It says in its all-time, but it came out real high and dipped. So it says down 84% all-time. What has it done in the last month? Down 10%. In the last 3 months, up 17%. In the last year, up 120%. This thing, I think, is still cooking. I think it's still getting ready to make its real debut and come on the scene. There are some people like AJ Writes Crypto on YouTube who I know talk about Algorand a lot. Missions. Oh, this is their technology website. Now, I kind of want their main website here, where it's just going to give us a breakdown of what they are. So Algorand is an energy efficient, always going to hear that narrative, quantum secure single layer blockchain with instant finality, consisting high throughput and low fees. What is this stuff all popping up? Clouding our screen here. Algorand in the real world. Businesses across the globe are leveraging the Algorand blockchain to deliver efficiency, impact, and opportunity. Now we are getting into the small enough caps and small enough projects that haven't really hit the big, eureka moment or, what do you want to call it, adoption moment. So in my opinion, from these coins down, we might really start finding some gems. None of this is financial advice. Lofty, Folks Finance, LabTrace, Whole Chain, staking rewards have arrived on Algorand, so you can now get staking rewards. Can a blockchain do that? Hashtag Algorand can. That's pretty funny. We got a video here. I'm not going to play it because I have no idea what it is. Participate in the network and community governance. The website looks good, but I'm not seeing a lot of, meat and potatoes information that I would like to hear. Maybe more information about their blockchain and how it works. Like we were just talking about parallel blocks for Caspa. I would like to know how this thing actually works. All right, looks like it's just going to be super techy. All right, so it is, here we go. Here, now we got something. Technology. By staking algo in consensus, you can become active contributor to this decentralized system and play a key part in the network security. And on Algorand, users can stake with no slashing risk, no lockup periods, and real-time rewards. So pure proof of stake inside the core technology. So we know it's proof of stake. That's good to know. So here, let's click on technology. Not going to go too far down this rabbit hole, but let's check it out. Oh, wow, it didn't do anything. Sustainability. All right, I think that's enough of Algorand. Very techy, very much running things in the background. That's a layer 1 for you, in my opinion. VeChain. What is VeChain? Have you heard of VeChain? Probably. It is number 63 by market cap, 2.1 billion in its market cap, and 86.7 billion tokens in its max supply, 85.9 billion tokens in its circulating supply. And let's go check out their website. Also, real quick, how long has VeChain been around? Let's go to max. And it looks like it came back out in 2018, so it has been around for a long time, hence to why most people would know what VeChain is, even if they don't really know what VeChain is, right? VeChain, Web3 for better. New partnerships. Join VBetter. Rewards for everyday sustainability. VeChain launches Stargate. VeChain features Messier report. All right. The VeChain Thor blockchain. The layer 1 for sustainability. I believe that Thorchain is a part of VeChain. Maybe I'm confusing that with something else. There's a lot of things to keep straight with all of this information. EVM compatible, low cost, fee delegation, fast, transaction lifecycle management, and clauses. Dive deeper. All right, let's dive a little deeper. This is a deep dive show, right? So we have, just the same thing they're running again. Wow, I feel like that didn't take us anywhere. Click dive deeper and it just, okay. It just didn't load right or something like that. Begin your journey with VeChain. Blockchain basics, core concepts. All right, this stuff might be just a little bit too techy. We're trying to raise the crypto IQ, right? But not that much, not that quick, right? We got to ease into it. Let's look at Fast Token. I remember when I started seeing this thing come out. Number 68 by market cap. Let's go to the max log, and here is a healthy looking chart, I would say. 2023, I definitely didn't hear about it when it first came out. I didn't know it was a layer 1, but it has an Ethereum contract. Let's see, what else we got? Base, Binance, Arbitrum. I don't see its own contract, so how is it a layer 1? Is it a layer 2 maybe? I'm not sure why it would be in this category. But either way, looks like 2013 is when CoinGecko started tracking it. $1.9 billion in its market cap, sitting at $4.57, up almost 1,000% since its inception. Let's look at the month though. In the month, only 1.4%. The price action looks unhealthy, in my opinion, to say the least. It looks terrible, actually, on a chart anyway. Go to the website. Oh, website is risky. McAfee does not want me to go to that website. All right, what is this thing and why does it have $1.9 billion in its market cap? I don't know. But my computer doesn't like it, that's for sure. Anyways, we are rolling up on 9:30. Engagement is slow. It is Thursday. The market has had a pullback, and so I think that we're pretty much done with this. We'll probably pick this up because we were just starting to get to some of the fun ones, but I wanted to cover all these different blockchains that are big, but maybe you've never heard of, or maybe you just don't know what they do. A couple of things I did want to go over first for anybody who watches this in the future. What are layer 1 projects and why do they matter, right? So layer 1 blockchains are the foundational base network, the main nets, responsible for processing transaction, enforcing consensus, and maintaining the public ledger. They serve as the source of truth without requiring support from other networks, so they're very much their own thing. So you have these layer 1 networks that are the foundation and kind of make everything that's built on top of them work, right? And then you have several different ones. And then you have what's called interoperability, which is the ability for them to operate together, right? So why they matter? Security and decentralization. These networks define their own rules, operate independently, and underpin trustless systems. So each blockchain itself is built usually trying to advance the technology, but also with their own ideas of how they think things would work best. So Bitcoin, of course, is your proof of work, which is mineable, but then you have proof of stake, which is a totally different system. Ethereum moved from proof of work to proof of stake. So there you go. They get to choose how they want to run and how they want to advance it, but also how they want to maintain it, right? Think of it like its own company that gets to choose how they want to run their company. Platform for innovation. They enable smart contracts, dApps, DeFi, NFTs, and more, all built directly on top of their infrastructure. How can Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, Avalanche, and Polkadot compare? So Ethereum has the first mover advantage. Of course, it transitioned from proof of work to proof of stake via the merge in September 2022, slashing energy usage by 99% and paving the way for future scalability improvements. Central to DeFi, NFTs, and this is via ERC 721 standards and smart contracts. Solana is highly scalable and fast thanks to its innovations like proof of history plus POS. Known for low transaction fees and high throughput, though it has faced outages and legal scrutiny. Well, there you go. Cardano, which we deep dived yesterday. If you're a Cardano person, go check out the deep dive live from yesterday. Uses a POS protocol called Ouroboros, offering very low energy usage, drastically lower than Bitcoin. Built with a layered architect. Settlement plus computation, support DeFi, NFTs, and identity solutions. Avalanche. Avalanche is a very interesting blockchain that I'm never sure if it's like doing well or not doing well. It's very interesting. Designed for speed, scalability, and security using a unique Avalanche consensus across multiple chains. Again, well, thinking of them like businesses or companies that get to choose how they want to run their business and company. Some are going to do really well and some are not going to do really well. That's just the truth of it, in my opinion. Offers near instant finality and high throughput, strong contender against Ethereum, but can't seem to get the momentum, in my opinion. Polkadot, probably one of my least favorite layer 1s, focuses on interoperability and shared security via relay chain and parallel chains. How to built to allow independent blockchain, right? And to communicate and share. So that's just kind of breaking down some of the very, top layer 1s that you would be familiar with. All right, why layer 1s power DeFi, NFT, and Web3 adoption? So layer 1s host lending, trading, yield, platforms entirely on-chain. Ethereum leads here, is the leader there. Hosted via standards like ERC 721 on Ethereum, enabling digital collectibles and art. That's NFTs, Web3, dApps. All decentralized applications rely on layer 1 for smart contract execution. And network economies. Layer 1 chains increasingly resemble decentralized economies, powering what Wired calls new national economies of metaverse. So, although everything I just said is kind of techy and not super exciting, those are really some of the best reasons, in my opinion, to speculate on layer 1s above other tokens because they have such usability and reason and staying power because everything else operates off of them. And that understanding right there is what I'm going to close out on. That'll get your IQ up, even if it's a little bit techie. Don't be scared of it. This is Crypto Ron signing out. Underground Crypto Deep Dive. Hit that like, share, subscribe button. Send this to someone you know loves crypto.